In today's video, we're going to take a look at some very low budget but very well made throwing knives. Whether you're an expert or a beginner, the Cold Steel Pro Flight Sport throwing knives. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. And as I said, we're going to take a look at some Cold Steel Pro Flight Sport throwing knives today. On the it kind of is a good option for you know, if you're just starting out trying to learn to throw knives, or even if you've been throwing them for a while. These are just really well made. And I bought these, by the way, from Big Daddy Unlimited, which, as you know, is one of the best ways you can support the channel right now, because you get your first month's membership for just 99 cents. Allows you to go check them out, see what kind of deals they have, and see if it's going to be worth your time. If you think you're saving money and you stick around, then they'll throw me a couple bucks, so it's a win-win. You save money and I make a little money, and they make a little money. And if you're not saving any money, nobody else is making money. So it's a win for everybody. I like the way that works. And so that's survivalonpurpose.com/BDU will get you started down that process. So anyway, let's talk about these knives. I did a video a little while back about good throwing knives for beginners. I didn't have these, but I found these after that, and so I went on and bought these because I really liked them. I thought they would make good sense. You know, Cold Steel's got a really good reputation for some really higher end throwing knives, and these are their budget ones, but they've got some really good features that I think almost none of the other knives we looked at had. So we'll talk about these real quick, and then we'll get to doing some of that knife throwing. I'm going to show you how they work. First of all, these knives are 14 inches long, which is good. I think, you know, 12 to 14 inches is a good length for a throwing knife, especially as you're beginning. Because for me, it's harder to throw little short knives. They're just 11.2 ounces, so they're not quite that 1 ounce per inch. That's kind of like the gold standard, but they're close. They're drop forged 1055 carbon steel, very well made, and I paid 11 bucks a piece for them on BDU, so pretty cheap, because some of the other ones we were looking at were 40, 50 bucks. So, but let me show you what I really like about these. Like most throwing knives, they don't really have a sharpened edge for carving, but if you can look at that edge there, it is the sharpest of any other throwing knife that I have tested. It's got a really, really good point on it, which is going to make it stick better, and you want them to stick because that really does help your confidence level, especially as you're learning. Also very symmetrical. The weight is going to be forward, so it's going to really help them a little bit there, and the balance on them is going to be somewhere about right, almost in the middle, so that's not bad. Very, very good symmetrical grip on them. So instead of me just talking about them, helicopter, well, let me kick you back there, and we'll just see how well these things actually throw. We're going to check the aerodynamic balance on the balance, orientation, and rotation device. Okay. I got two of these. Shall we do it? Let's do it. Not bad, 2 out of 2. Okay, I backed you up just a little bit. I think I needed to back up just a hair. Oh man, it's 4 out of 4. Now, I typically throw with a full 360-degree rotation, so I'm throwing them by the handle, hoping them to flip one time and to stick in. And that's kind of distance dependent unless you're really good, and I'm not. But so far, these things are throwing great. So that's 6 out of 6. I'm gonna try a little bit of no spin, and for me, I have to start really close with that. I really want to learn to do that because that's a great way of throwing knives, but the fact that these things are so sharp really does help them to stick. So we'll come up here and start with a little no spin. Maybe take one step back, try it again. Okay, so I have to really work on my no spin technique, and you don't want to watch me doing that. So but I got to say, I'm really, really pleased with these knives. I think for 10, 11 bucks a piece, that's a really good price. They throw really well, really nice and sharp on the end, which really does make a difference, especially when you're learning, because you need all the help you can get. At least I do. So I got to say, I highly recommend these things now. You know, they're made in China, but what do you expect for 10 bucks, right? But they absolutely throw great. So that's the Cold Steel ProFlight Sport. And I think they're a really good beginner throwing knife, but also for anybody, really for an expert. But you won't break the budget with these things, but they'll do you a really good job. So anyway, thanks again to the folks at Big Daddy Unlimited for being such a good place to buy stuff, and for creating opportunity that we can have this win-win sponsorship situation. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single one, you may have heard this before, but I invite you to go to survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe, get connected with my weekly email newsletter, just in case something happens on the old big tech YouTube platform. I'll be able to let you know where you can find the content that you hopefully want to continue watching. So survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. I really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared.